Good morning, creative companions. Welcome to today. I'm glad you're here. Creative companions, we're all believing mirrors for one another. I'm glad you believe in me enough to show up. Once again, here we are to do the thing. Chapter 3 of Polishing the Mirror. Polishing the mirror. Because in creative companions, we're all believing mirrors for one another. We believe in each other's creative progress and growth. This is the painting we started last week. I hope you brought yours with you, Donna. Good morning. We're going to continue on the painting we started last week. If you did not start a painting last week, that's okay too. Just get a cardboard. I'm going to try to get my camera angle here a little better for you. Whoa, that's a fall. We had a big rain and stuff this morning, and that was different. Got a little floody. I didn't know if I was going to be outside or not. I wish I could tilt that down some, but I don't know how to get it to stay. Maybe I'll buy a fancy tripod, like a photographer would have. So I wonder how everybody's week went. I kind of lost focus a little bit and forgot that I'm just here to remember to be here now, and that's always the goal. Let's see, what can I sit back there? Let me do this. Bear with me, folks. I'm just trying to get this phone to sit good. I'm not used to doing this with my phone either. I usually use my laptop, but that wasn't possible today. It's not going to stay there. I'm just going to have to go with that and deal with the fact that there's a lot of headspace. I'll move closer maybe. So this chapter was pretty long. It took me kind of all week to get the reading done. Hi, Chaz. So hopefully some of you have read it too. It's pretty heavy stuff and lots to think about. Just being here now. Love now. That's what we're doing. Like I said, I got lost in stinking thinking this week, as my friend Chandra put it. Are you stinking thinking? Yeah, I was stinking thinking. What good can thinking do? That's why we meditate. Get back to the breath. Get back to the precious present moment. Recognizing the good in the now is how you have a constant state of bliss called Ananda. A-N-N-A-N-D-A, Ananda. I'm not sure how to say it, but I really like that word. And it means eternal bliss. And it is found by finding the good in the now. The ever-present good. So we're going to meditate here in a few minutes. And then after that, we're going to work on our beautiful work in progress. So we'll need our whatever supplies you were using last week. If you weren't with us last week, just grab your favorite brushes and paints. We're using acrylic paints, or I'm using acrylic paints. You could use watercolor, you could use markers, whatever works for you and whatever you like to use. You'll need a palette, some water, some paper towels. Wear something you don't mind getting messy. Be fearless and play is the thing. So if you have something that you're worried about getting paint on, you won't be able to be fearless and play as well. So, yeah, wear something you can get messy in, your favorite thing. I always put, like, my favorite rings on and get the mojo working, you know. This necklace I always wear is Grandma Mary's. And she was married to my grandpa named Art. That's right. So, yeah. So let's see, for this meditation, let's do this as a eyes open meditation, remembering that we're always meditating just to be still in the now with ourselves, to come to the now and the creative process for this creative companions experience that we're having together as a group today. To be able to be fully here with one another, we meditate. We check in with our hearts. So Feet on the floor, or sitting in a comfy position where you can stay for a few minutes. You just start breathing deep. You can keep your eyes open. I close mine for a second here. Just take at least 3 really deep, long breaths with me now, if you would. Holding in between the inhale and the exhale. Just staying there for a minute. Inhale. Pause. Just be in that space for a minute. And exhale. Let it all out and then pause. Be in that space for a moment. And then inhale again. Now just keep that going with eyes open. Instead of looking at me now in the video, look at your art, look at your canvas, whether it be blank or it has something on it. Look at it as you continue to breathe. Just focus your gaze on it. No thoughts about it, no judgment. Only awareness of the breath. And now, feel the quality of the air on your skin coming in through your nostrils. Feel what it feels like to hold that breath in. Fill yourself up with it. And let it go. And do it again. Deepen your breath. Satnam. The point of power is in the present moment. Keep breathing. Your gaze focus on your canvas. The train goes by. The sounds around us just help us relax more. The point of power is in the present moment. Right here and right now in our minds. I'm now reading from Louise Hay. Heal your body. Listen now, it doesn't matter how long we've had negative patterns. An illness, a rotten relationship, lack of finances, or self-hatred. We can begin to make a change today. The point of power is in the present moment. The thoughts we've held and the words that we've repeatedly used have created our life and experiences up until this point. Yet that is past thinking, and we've already done that. What we're choosing to think and say today, at this moment, will create tomorrow, and the next day, and the next week, and the next month, and the next year, and so on. The point of power is always in the present moment. This is where we begin to make changes. What a liberating idea. We can begin to let the old nonsense go right now. Exhale. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Let it out. We can begin to let the old nonsense go right now. The smallest beginning will make a big difference. Inhale. Come to the now. The smallest beginning will make a difference. The smallest beginning will make a difference. The smallest beginning will make a difference. The point of power is always in the present moment, right here, right now, in your precious mind, working with your precious heart. You can make all the changes you want to make. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing with me and stay in the now. It's such an honor It is such an honor to be here in this moment with you here now, alive, well, breathing, smiling. If you're not, smile now. Smile now, smile now. Yeah, so that was from Louise Hay. Really good stuff. Heal your body. I just opened to a page this morning, and I'd been thinking, wow, Kim, this week you got stuck in that thinking, that stinking thinking, and you forgot. For a minute, you forgot what the goal was. And then I heard this song, Be Here Now, by Corey French and Nako, just this morning. As I was thinking, I forgot what the goal was. And the song said, I'm just trying to be here now. I'm just trying to be here now. I'm just trying to be here now. Experiencing now with all my senses. I'm here now, experiencing now with all my senses. Everything else takes care of itself, and it's 11:11 and all is well. If I'm here now in loving awareness, everything else takes care of itself. Worry is a waste of my imagination. I can choose to fantasize and plan a beautiful future for myself if I want to, in the present moment. Or I can choose to, in the present moment, share my heart with you, open my heart a little more. Did a great heart opening meditation, by the way, yesterday with Sarah. Highly recommend. I'll post links and such. Some of you were there with me, and it was great. And I'm glad you're all here now. Creative companions, we're all believing mirrors for one another and really truly believing one another's creative growth and creative experience and unique creative expression. That we do this as a group. We're all individuals just trying to be here now and do this life thing the best we can. So, how was your self-care this week? How'd you treat your artist child self? Did you do your morning pages? So morning pages are our concepts, and our basic concepts for this group come from Julia Cameron's work, The Artist Way. There's a hair, it looks like, out of place. That one was trying to radio home. Morning pages are a conversation with ourselves. 3 pages of brain drain every morning, and journal of your choice. I'm happy to use this one right now. And just 3 pages in the morning, just talking to yourself. How you feeling today? It's a check-in. Happy for another good day. Programming a positive day. Writing down the good stuff, which brings me to our good stuff jar. We made this in week 1 of Polishing the Mirror. And daily, we put something in there. The cardinals showed up, hanging out with the birds. So daily, just recognizing something good that happened today. This is another way to just reprogram our brain. So are our journals, and we can work with affirmations and saying good things to ourselves. What about an artist day? It's another one of our basic tools is the artist day. And this is just a block of time, once a week, recommended an hour, where you just take your artist self, your child self, and go do something fun, something you like to do. I know one of our creative companions flew a kite this week, and she hadn't flown a kite since she was 5, and she called and asked for my advice because flying a kite is one of my favorite things to do. So jump in puddles, go for a walk, go for a run, sing that song real loud that you like to sing. Just check in with your kid self and see if you're treating that little self well. One of my friends said this week, whether we like to think so or not as our bigger, higher selves, we think we're running the show. And the smallest one in the room is running the show. Think about it. The toddler's running the show. We all respond to them. And they're real good at keeping their love light on and asking for what they need and showing up fully present. Right? So take your artist on a date. I had a raccoon get into my paint this week, and I keep finding black paint everywhere, and I haven't found the true source of it. But there's more black paint again. Interesting. Journaling, artist date. I've added a walk, going for a daily walk in your bare feet, if you can, grounding into the earth and just being present in your environment. Breathing on your walk, just deepening your breath. Sally says, walk as if you're kissing the earth. Slow down, Kimmy. Slow down. Yeah, just slowing down. So yeah, how did you treat your artist self this week? Ask yourself. Did you do any art therapy? Did you practice your art? Did you play your banjo? Did you make a painting? Did you sing a song? If you did, I would love to see what you made. Share it on our Creative Companions group page. I hope you fed yourself some good food, drank some water. So be fearless and play. We don't have to be nervous. We're just going to have fun. So we're going to paint today. And so we started this painting from the back, like I've taught y'all to do, my Creative Companions. And you do the sky first. So if you haven't started one yet, just cover your background with your favorite sky color. I tend to like orange and yellows for my skies often. Okay? So just cover it with the quickness. And then with the dry brush, perhaps you make a rainbow or a sun. Dry brush is just taking a brush that has not been in water at all. When you're putting the background on, you might want to add some water so that makes your brush move faster. This is just to catch everyone up. And then dry brush is just take your brush with barely any... Why don't I just do it? I'll just do it. And if you all have a painting at home, maybe start that you started. Start this way. Let's just put some white out. You know, I never know what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to teach dry brush, okay? So you take a brush that's not even in the best of shape, and you put a little white on the ends of the bristles, and then you can take a paper towel and take most of it off. I always check it on my hand. You see that? That's too much for me. I'm going to take more of it off. Check it again. Okay, that's a little better. I want it to just barely be... It's still too much. Rub it off some more. Okay, that's better. It's barely coming off my brush, so I'm going to take it and go around my sun again. Let's make some more sun rays coming out. See that? So it's barely, and I have to push hard. But what I want is like that see-through. It's like bringing the light. This is how we bring the light. I'm going to go back and get a little more paint. Take it off again. Check it on my hand. And then let's make some more sun rays. Coming out. Let's light it up. And see that black paint? That's from the raccoon right there. So we'll work that into this... Thank you, raccoon. Creation with creation. I am creating with creation. I am showing up. The only way that you can create with creation, the only way is to show up, to do the thing, whether that's painting or singing or playing your guitar. Be a channel for which good things can flow through. The only way to do it is to show up. So give yourself credit just for showing up. Every day, you've been doing it. Yay! Look, I made my clouds more puffy. So maybe just play with that dry brush a minute and just bring the light, Go around your rainbow. I would even go around this tree of mine. You see, the sun's going to be coming that way. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So if the sun's coming that way, there's where it hits my tree. Right there. Woo, let's light that up. Light that up. See that? It gives that fuzzy. So do that for a while, and we're going to talk a little bit about polishing the mirror. Oh. I'm just trying to be here now. That's what Ram says. He wrote a book called Be Here Now. So chapter 3 was called Karma Yoga, Living in the World. Living in the World. Let's see what it has to say. Once you get that first glimpse of living spirit, once your heart opens even for a moment to unconditional love, everything in your life becomes the grist mill for your awakening. That awakening is from ego consciousness, your limited self, to the self, the universal spirit present in each of us, to God consciousness, to oneness. It is such grace to share this path of heart together with others that are sharing this path of heart. It's not the outer form that changes. We won't look any different. It's the nature of the inner being that fills the form. We might shine brighter. It comes out of our eyes, I think. The essential work of developing a spiritual consciousness is quieting the mind and opening the heart. They're there now. Here now. Here now. The game of enlightenment starts from exactly where you are in your life at this moment. It's not about rejecting or walking away from any part of your life. The game is to bring all of your life into harmony at every level, to act according to Dharma, the law of the universe, truth, how it all is. How it all is. Radical acceptance of how it all is. So that's what we're trying to do, is live on purpose for a purpose and bring our life into harmony with the spirit. From the spiritual standpoint, the intent and the manner of doing something are more important than the act itself. So the intent and the manner of which you're doing something can be more important, they're saying, than the act itself. Doing it on purpose for a purpose. So this might feel like child's play, what we do here in Creative Companions, and just scribbling around with the paint on the cardboard. The intent and the manner of doing it is more important than the act itself. And the intent of Creative Companions is to bring us closer to our creative selves, and then bring that creative self to shine into the world and inspire others to do the same. So we always remember what our intent is in the now. How you go about your work in the world determines whether your work is a vehicle for your awakening or for getting caught in Maya, which is the increasing the illusion of separation. So this kind of karma yoga uses selfless action and service as a way of bringing your life into harmony with the One. Selfless action and service. Be of service, be a sensible person. Use your words and don't be nervous. That's not good quote. So to use your daily life and work as a conscious spiritual path means relinquishing your attachment to the fruits of the actions or how they come out, like this painting. Releasing our attachment to how it comes out, not even thinking about that. I haven't asked you to think about the finished product, not once, because it's a work in progress. So let me say that again. We use our daily life and work as a conscious spiritual path means relinquishing your attachment to the fruits of the actions or to how it all comes out. Instead of doing it for a reward or for a result, you're doing it as a love offering to yourself, to the world. I make art because I love to make art, and I love to make art, and it is my desire that I use my art and my experiences in ways that bring healing to the world and to all. Yeah, so if you just got here, we're just dry brushing, and I went a little heavy with that. See that? That's more paint than I like. But I'm going to leave it because there are no mistakes. I encourage you, please don't try to paint over anything at this point. Just let her be. Let her be, let it be as it is. Okay, so no mistakes. Whatever you do, however it shows up for you on the canvas right now, there's no eraser. There's no going back. We're only going forward, yo. Okay? So I'm just dotting now because that's what I felt like doing. And okay, so I've added enough here of white for a second. Let me see what else I have to say. You offer, okay, so it's talking about loving service to others is also a way, loving service to others. This is my service to others. I freely give you this information and this painting guidance because I desire to use my art and my experiences to bring healing. And I love you so much, all of you. And I know that which I do, which is good for me, is good for all. So it's an attitude you develop, an attitude of offering. Every action you perform, you offer as selfless service. The word in Sanskrit is seva. That's S-E-V-A. I don't know if I'm saying it right. In the same vein, Christ says about service, what you do for the least of my brothers and sisters, you do for me. Seva doesn't have ego in it. It's all soul. Seva doesn't have ego in it. It's all soul. Any action can be Seva. Everything you do, cooking, gardening, working, is an act you can offer. Think about that. This is a great practice. We're so addicted to doing. This opens us up to being while we're doing and thinking about why we're doing what we're doing. Letting go of the doer a little lightens your load. That I do, which is good for me, is good for all. So work on yourself. This is an act of Siva. Gandhi said, the act you do may seem very insignificant, but it's important that you do it. I hear the hawk gone. Oh, I just saw Vicky said she loves the sounds of the birds, and I hear the hawk. Yeah, I have a lot of birds at this campsite, keeping me company and helping me be here now and bringing me memories of people that have moved on. Yeah. So be unattached to the fruits of your actions. Just let it be a right action. Right action is a difficult one to hear because it runs counter to our achievement and goal-oriented culture. In India, they have a very deep sense of doing one's dharma. From that view, it's natural to attune yourself to be in harmony with the laws of the universe. Your life is the part you play. You go from being the star of your show to becoming an actor in the whole big play. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So be unattached. The instruction is to be unattached to the fruits of your action. This is key. And I see that so much with the creative process. Attachment's what keeps you stuck in your limited reality. Your attachment, wishing something would be different, is what keeps it the same. Just allow everything to be what is and love it anyway, or let everyone be as they are and love them anyway. Then they can change in their time. It's not up to you. Samuel Johnson said, he who has so little knowledge of human nature as to seek happiness by changing anything but his own disposition will waste his life in fruitless efforts. Yeah, that's good. Just keep working on yourself until you are a radiating love light. When you're radiating love, then everybody else is free to do the same and give up their stuff when they're ready to. So like a skillful gardener, you create a space for people to grow when they are ready to grow. So by being a work in progress, shining your light and letting people see that creates space for them to do the same. So now on our painting, what I want to talk about is using some affirmations and using some words in our composition. So I'd like to play a little affirmation ping pong, if we could, with all y'all who are watching. And if you could comment. I haven't scrolled the comments. Do I need to on my phone? No, they pop up. Okay. So, some ideas I had. And let's not start writing or painting onto our canvas right now. Let's just think about affirmations. Okay, Tabitha's asking a question. So what if someone's actions are harmful to you? Well, yes, of course you remove yourself, because you only can control yourself. And like I often say, if the energy has gotten to a point that even sometimes like I'm hearing things that I don't want to hear that, use your feet. Just walk away. The only one you can control is yourself, and not every infraction needs a reaction. So if someone's behavior is irritating you, you don't even need to respond. You can just drift back into the background or walk away. I hope that answers. So affirmations. Be here now. There's one. Love now. An affirmation can be very simple. Mudras. We talked about this before in group, and Sarah talked about this yesterday at the yoga. Bring your fingers to this position, focusing on the breath and just waiting for the next highest possible thought. I believe in the good things coming. What a beautiful life. Today is a new beginning. I am loving awareness. That's a new one I just came up with. So that could either be an action. I am in the process of loving this awareness. I am loving awareness. Or it could be, I am loving awareness. Either way. There you go, Chaz. That's a good statement. Right. You don't control others. You control yourself and what you accept from others. Yes. I am love now. That's good. I like to add now to my affirmations. Sometimes, to bring it to the now. Um, be here now in loving awareness. So pick an affirmation that you would like. What we're going for is we'll talk about the finished painting. The finished painting, when we're done with it, is going to take a prominent spot in your home, where you see it every day, maybe above the doorway into your art space, or on your altar, or in your living room, or wherever you end up putting this precious piece of art that you're working on with me. So at this point, you're going to write some words on it that you would like to read every day. So I'm digging this I am loving awareness thing, and I'm going to, now your choice is, well, what brush do I want to use? How do I do this? I like to do 2 colors on my brush at a time, like purple and white. So I'm going to put some purple and some white, just a dab. This is acrylic paint, and we're only going to be writing real tiny, or you can write real big if you want to. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Now, you see, I have a spiral in my composition, and maybe you do too. You could write your words real little around that spiral and just take your time and write them around there. I'm going to write my words over the rainbow. It's a Beautiful Life would be a good one here, looking through these eyes. So I'm going to put a little white, a little water, and a little purple on this brush here. And then I picked out a skinny brush to try to write this as small as I can. And in applying the paint to the brush to write skinny, I mean, you need to think about how you do that too. Because right now, if you can see that, I have some bristles, there you go, sticking off funky. That's not going to work. So I put it back in the paint here. Let me get a little white and a little purple. And I spin it and I twirl it. And then I pull it back to try to get all those bristles to stick, and it's still not. So I'm going to get a different brush. Do you see that? So it's about taking time with yourself too. We don't need to rush into anything. Make sure you're all set up and got everything you need and you feel comfortable, and you hold your tongue just right, and then do the thing. Take a deep breath. Don't forget to breathe now. Okay, so I picked a different brush here. This one's going to work better. The bristles are staying together for me. What did I say I was going to write? I wrote it on the back, so don't forget. I am loving awareness. So I'm going to start over here. And, whatever fancy way you like to write, take your time. It's about taking your time. There's my letter I. You see? And then go back to the thing. Spin the brush around a little bit. Let's see. See, I wrote that a little lighter. I don't know why. I just did. You can do that too. Yes. Just keep going and just write your affirmation on there. You may find yourself writing more than one affirmation on your painting. So one of my dear friends, Jody Kay, liked to put a lot of words in her art, and you would have to go all round and about and here and there and everywhere to read it, and it was quite fun to look at. Are you still breathing? Hope so. Maybe you've been holding your breath because you're getting nervous. We don't have to be nervous. We just came to have fun. And we're all here with our friends. All right, let me get this word written, and then we'll go see what Ram Dass has to say again. So I do like a combination of cursive and printing. Maybe I'm going to write awareness real big so that it stretches all the way over to my tree. We'll see. We'll see. Where did I put the book now? So witnessing your own melodrama is what we're going to talk about next. The essence of karma yoga is to free yourself from the attachments to the events of your life. To stop creating more karma that gets you stuck. So it's just becoming free of attachments. Attachments to outcomes, attachments to the way things were. And one way to get free of attachment is to cultivate the witness consciousness, to become the neutral observer of your own life. The witness place inside you is simple awareness, the part of you that's just aware of everything. It's just aware, like that part of you before you open your eyes in the morning. It's just aware. It's just noticing, watching, not judging, just being present and being here now. Ooh, not judging. Just noticing, watching, not judging, just being present, just being here now. The witness is actually another level of consciousness. It coexists alongside your normal consciousness as another layer of awareness, the part that's waking up. Like I said, it's like that one when your eyes are closed. The witness, the awareness, and you can cultivate that awareness in the wow, I don't even know what I just said. The witness is your awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I skipped down. That process of stepping back takes you out of being submerged in your experience and thoughts and sensory input and into self-awareness. And along with that self-awareness comes the subtle joy of just being here, alive, enjoying the present moment. I like the birds. So eventually you come into this pure consciousness where you're just experiencing, like a child, joy and compassion. The witness is your centering device that sees what's going on. So your job's to work on yourself. The greatest thing you can do for another human is to get your own house in order. Quiet your mind. As you quiet your mind, you begin to see the nature of your own resistance and your stuckness more clearly. This is also what our journals help us do. You see your mental struggles, your inner dialogue, your self-narrations, the ways you procrastinate or resist life or resist change. Don't try to change the patterns, just notice them at this point. As you cultivate the witness, things change on their own, just like I said at the beginning. If I'm fully present in the now, in love now, everything else takes care of itself. It's a beautiful bird. So your soul is in your spiritual heart. When you're being here now in loving awareness, things just change. Things just happen. You know? The quickest way to get through your stuff is to learn to listen to that place inside you. You have to honor your own path and be able to trust there is a place in you that knows what's best. There's this tendency to look to others always for guidance. But really, you know that you know that you know that you know what is suitable for you. Trust that. When your intuitive heart speaks, listen. If you listen to your heart's intuition, it feels right to do something, then do it. Witnessing is a doorway to living in your spiritual heart. Maybe that's why I always put that doorway in my paintings. I didn't even know. You just start doing what you know you need to do. And trying to decide what to do with your life, listen to your heart. Not so much thinking. Not so much thinking. Okay? I'm going to write a few words here. Anybody have any affirmations to share? Are you enjoying your process over there, painting? I want to write the word awareness with more white than I did the other words. Oh, that looks pretty. You know, like, and in talking to your child self, like I just said to my child self, oh, that looks pretty. You did good. Oh, thank you. You know, my higher self can even say thanks. Oh, thanks. I'm doing my best here. You know, we got this. Together we can. Oh, let's go back to see where we left off. So, Ram says, now the way I see it, we're all one family. Now, whether I can actually live so everybody is my family and we're all one depends on how trapped I am in separateness. Who you think you are is a matter of perspective. I find that a very interesting sentence. Who you think you are is a matter of perspective. Who are you telling yourself you are? What are you saying? It's amazing to me how who I think I am is two very different people at times. Like sometimes, I guess, yeah. Just don't take your melodrama so seriously. Remember who you really are. Who you think you are will die with the body because it's part of this thing. But your knowing, your consciousness is the one watching it. It's just sitting here, enjoy, watching it all happen. Yeah. So the art of spiritual growth, I like that. That's what we're doing. It's an art. The art, you're growing a person, you're developing a human, you're making her or him into the loving being you'd like them to be. And hopefully I'm helping and you're helping me. I, and we're all one and all that. Loving awareness, here I am. There we go. Maybe you put some exclamation points at the end of your sentence there, at the end of your affirmations. So the intuitive, compassionate heart is the doorway to our unity. This is how we see each other as one. You know, this is a big task here. Love everyone and tell the truth. Don't get mad. To be free means to open your heart and your being to the fullness of who you are. Because only when you are resting in that place of unity can you truly honor and appreciate others and the diversity of this incredible universe. I'm just reading you sentences I have highlighted in the book right now from the chapter Karma Yoga, Living in This World. Whoever has the mind to fight has broken his connection to the universe. If you try to dominate people, you're already defeated. We study how to resolve conflict, not how to start it. Nonviolent Communication is a book that has been shared with me that I would like to look into more. Yeah, so what did that sentence I just read say? How to resolve conflict, not how to start it. You and I are training to become conscious, compassionate beings in the truest and deepest sense. We become an instrument of joy, an instrument of equanimity, an instrument of presence, of love, an instrument of availability, and at the same moment, absolutely quiet. Living a spiritual life is a strategy for working on yourself for the benefit of all beings, for working on your creativity for the benefit of all beings. I'm not doing what I do to show off. I'm creating the best art I can create because it's fun and I like doing my best. And I know that it inspires others to do the same. And it's learning to take time for yourself. It's learning to take your time with your art, to give yourself time to learn, to be a beginner again, to do it for the first time. Every painting's a new opportunity. Every piece of art's an opportunity to learn something new about you, about the art form, about others. I am loving awareness. So an affirmation, retraining your brain. So you put that up somewhere in your home when you walk in and you see that and it reminds you, I'm here now, here now. Welcome home. Welcome home's a great affirmation. Welcome home. Right here. Loving you. Here now. Here now. Let's see. Took me all week, like I said, to get through this chapter, and there's much, and I'm just going to skip a bunch here. I hope that you will read it too. Okay, so here's answering kind of that question that was asked before, if, other people's actions are bothering you. If somebody has a problem for you, they're not the one who needs to change. If someone is a problem for you, it's you who needs to change something. Like, not hanging around that person. If you feel they're causing you trouble, that's your problem. It's on you. Your job's to take care of yourself and stay in your lane. If they're creating a problem for themselves, well, that's their problem. Right? So if that person over there is jumping up and down and saying mean things and swinging their fists, and that's causing you to feel scared and anxious, well, there's your problem. What do you need to change? You being near that person, so you need to get yourself away from there, yeah? To where you can feel yourself and then you took care of your problem. Now the fact that they're doing that over there, well, let that be their problem. Live and let live. So the power other people have to shake you out of your equanimity and love and consciousness has to do with your own attachments and your own clinging of the mind. This is where your work is on yourself. You need to meditate more, reflect more. But you need to cultivate the witness more. It's where you need to practice opening your heart more in circumstances that are not optimum or easy. This is your work. That's it. There's no blame. This is your situation. This is what's on your plate at the moment. The art of listening comes from a quiet mind and an open heart. So besides writing some affirmations on your painting, let's go back to our art for a minute, because I'm sure, I don't know where you are on that. I would suggest you just keep the hand moving, and making your painting more and more beautiful. So let's talk about some ways to do that right now. I'm going to add some more detail now, like foreground, and I have something to do to incorporate my raccoon well, it's not a footprint, but it's a raccoon square of black. So I'm going to get some green on my canvas, or on my palette now, maybe some yellow. And just showing up for whatever creative process. We think sometimes we have to think something up first before we start playing our guitar, or, we have to write that song first. What if you just start playing and then the words start coming? Oh, there's some of the black paint. Look at this raccoon. Loving acceptance of what is happening in the now. So, you know what? I'm going to go with this and do a little finger painting from where my raccoon, and I'm going to use this black, and we're going to just do a little and see what happens here. Maybe this is some kind of structure, a rock. I just want to get this black paint off of me. It's just flowing with whatever happens, and I see how we can get so caught up in like wishing it wasn't that way, that it spends a lot of time. Placing blame creates delay in finding a solution or moving forward. It is what it is. It doesn't matter how it got there. That happened from a raccoon. So I'm going to make that into a rock, and I'm probably going to end up writing some other affirmation on there. I'm just going to do a little more finger painting though now with some purple. It's just about going with whatever. You just show up in loving awareness and do today and breathe through today. And that's what we do. And we hear the hawk. Breathing in and out, I am. The truth will set you free, Ram Dass says. I'd rather be than be right. I'd rather just be than be right. Trying to figure it all out takes us away. Trying to be right takes us away from the now. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Use your voice. Love everyone and tell the truth. That's a high order, though. Don't get angry. I saw the only reason I got angry was because I was holding on to how I thought things should be. Ultimately, I would rather be free and in love than be right. That's what Ram says. If you feel a sense of social responsibility, first of all, keep working on yourself. Being peaceful yourself is the first step if you want to live in a peaceful universe. And this is true. It starts with you and it goes from there. It goes out from there. You know, that's another thing you could write. Or putting a peace sign. We don't only speak with words in our art. We speak with symbols as well. So you may put a peace sign in your work always. You know, maybe that becomes your thing. Or you sing about peace. Or you, look how much black I am getting. Where is it coming from now? It's interesting. The raccoon touched everything that was left outside, which wasn't much. This is crazy. I don't know exactly where that came from. But I want to paint with green now for a minute. So I'm going to add some green down here in the foreground. And one way to do that is taking like a brush again that hasn't been in the water yet. I got to watch everything I touch is going to be black right now. Let me get a big one, a big brush here. Okay, and I'm going to put it in the green and the white, mix it just a little, green and white here, and I'm going to do an up and down motion under my tree to just add some green shrubbery, and then maybe ooh, that's a little heavier than I like, but we're going to go with it, just go with it. So we're going to spread it out this way. Like, oh look, my tree has a dress on. Let's leave the rock as it is, and then come over here. Sorry, that wasn't on camera. So I'm just adding some green and pulling up. So you put the paint on and then take your brush and pull up, 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 up. It's so fun. So, and you know, my whole thing with, we paint on cardboard because we don't want to set the bar too high and we want to not activate any fear or our senses. Because when there's fear, you aren't free. You know, when you experience fear, you're just cut off. So we have to be free to just create. So we use cardboard. And also, we often don't do that thing, that art that we want to create or whatever it is, because we think everything has to be perfect. We have to have all the perfect tools, and maybe we can't afford them, or we have whatever it is that prevents you. I say where there's a will, there's a way, and you can use what you got. You know, you can, for now, in this moment, you go from where you're at and you use what you have. So the fact that black paint is showing up on my canvas without my conscious awareness or desire is interesting. And you just go with that. And for me, people ask me, you know, how do you know when a piece of art is done? Well, when I love it, when it's beautiful in every aspect. You know, so we may paint on the same thing over and over for days and do different things and, you know, take a break from it and rest. Meditate and just stare at it and breathe in and out. It'll tell you what to do next. Just trust the creative process, just like we're learning to trust ourselves. We're learning to trust the creative process. The last thing he talks about is having a spiritual family and friends. You know, and that's what we have here in Creative Companions is people that we can talk to about our progress, people we can talk to about what we're experiencing, what's going on with us, and this taste of freedom and creativity that we're getting from just doing these simple things. I think my tree needs a little yellow up there in the top. Put a little yellow up here, so make it look a little more textured. You know, and it's like layers. Painting's like layers. You just keep adding and adding. If you do Photoshop, you know, you have an idea. See where I made that light spot? Maybe that's where the light's coming through right there. So I'm going to accentuate it. Now it's starting to look like a bird's nest. We don't know what's happening next. No, my kids would say, can we do this or that tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I can have the best intention of doing this or that. Look, I made a black spot at the end of the rainbow. I'm thinking that's going to be the pot of gold. I'm going to make that into a little pot. And, you know, also with this idea of making art or painting, and maybe you say, well, I can't even draw. I can only draw stick figures, or hands are hard to draw, or faces are hard. I can draw flowers, but faces are hard. Vern says to me, can you make straight lines? Yes. Can you make curvy lines? Yes. Everything's made of straight and curvy lines. You just put straight and curvy lines together. That's all. However you want to. And it's your unique way of doing it. And it's beautiful. You can be happy if you let yourself be. Just let yourself be. Leave yourself alone. Stop picking on you. Be nice to yourself. We only have about 5 more minutes here. Maybe you want to write another affirmation. Do you want to see, let's see, what else could I show you? Let's show you how to do a different flower. Like a really easy one. First we'll do a daisy. So I'm going to take that little brush that I use to write my words with. I'm going to go down here where I have some green and put some flowers on top of that green. I'm going to do the middle of the daisy first. This time I just globbed the paint on the brush so that I can just touch it and it's going to make a dot. See that? Do it a couple times and make a few dots. Now, I'm going to take that same brush into the white. Twist it around in there a little bit. Go to where I made that dot, start at the dot, and go out, and go out, and go out. Aw, look at that little flower. See? And there wouldn't be just one. That little flower needs a friend, and I made those other dots anyway, so then you do that. And as works in progress, we get more beautiful as we go. We gain in wisdom and light, and we get brighter as we go. And our work, it can only get better as you go. You can only get good at it by practicing, and you can only practice by showing up for yourself. You're all so beautiful. So, let me show you another flower that I really like to make. And I think they're called flags. Irises? No. I don't know. They're purple. I don't know the names of things sometimes, but so I like to make like this thing, this shape like a tongue. Or, see that? Like a little tongue with purple. Now purple and white on that same brush. I go from the tongue there, where the point is, and I go out that way. See that? Let's put another one on the other side. See that? Now, those kinds of flowers have that tongue, and then they have this thing sticking up. So then I make that thing. Bloop. And bloop. You see? Amazing, right? And then they have like a little white dot right there in the middle on the top of the tongue. Ta-da. Sometimes they have a little yellow right there as well. We don't have to get real detailed about it though. Indicate. Now we can give it a stem with the green. You could sit and paint little flowers on this thing all day long, right? Look at that. And then, well, before we go, we have 2 more minutes. That little river kid, my granddaughter, when I paint with her, she always says, Granny, there gotta be a butterfly somewhere. So, let's make a butterfly now. Just so you can see it well, let's do it with white. You could always do it with white first and then add the color like you're making a butterfly canvas. So my butterfly is going to be over here. Let me think a minute how I want my butterfly to be. Let's make it so he's like sitting on this. Whoops, there he is. I accidentally hit it, but that's going to be his body. Now I'm going to make him a wing. This is fun for me too because I don't have like an easel set up here and I'm not, you know, shooting over my shoulder. I will eventually, like, but I'm painting upside down. It makes it more challenging for me. So you see those shapes? You make a little stick with some triangles on its back and you call that a butterfly. Then you can, now I made it white, but I'm going to go give it some color now. And let's just give it some yellow. Look at that. Prettier still. Now let's give it some purple. Give it a dot, and a dot, and a dot, and a dot, and a dot. Butterflies are so amazingly symmetrical. They do have dotted lines and things and such. Look how cute it is. How easy was that? So make yourself some butterflies, some pretty flowers. Keep breathing all the while. We're aging and changing all the time. Works in progress. So chapter 4 is about aging and changing. That's what we're going to be reading for next week. Love yourself more, y'all. Make it a good week. Best one ever. That's all I got. I'm going to post some things. Oh, by the way, this community is growing with the quickness. Our Creative Companions group here on Facebook has almost 600 members now. So if you're enjoying this, invite your friends. Let's make this community grow and spread this awareness and help people shine their creative lights. It makes us all brighter. Teamwork makes the dream work. Look at that. Yeah, so that means it's been a good morning. I got that much paint on me already. And I'm going to keep painting and working on this. Oh, I even have some on my face. Tribal. You do the same. All right. Peace out. See you next week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for me and for you. I and I. Much love.